Hi, so I wanted to do a quick run through in Knowify of a typical dispatch job. This is a pretty easy to follow process flow. And what we're going to do is come in and first go to the dispatch jobs. And here, let's go ahead and create a new job. And let's see here. Go ahead and select a client. You can also create a new client at that point. And then I'm going to go ahead and come in here and hit is time and material job. This gives me access to the ability to add both time tracked as well as materials tracked for a job. I'm then going to schedule an appointment for my ticket. And let's see, I'll go ahead and set it for 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. I'll go ahead and add Aaron, and let's see, solar install. And I'll go ahead and create this ticket. At this point, I'm given the option to notify the customer by email that we are planning on coming out at this time on this day. So I'm going to go ahead and go over to the email here and hit send. And I want to also note that at this point you can also convert this to a contract job, meaning that once the ticket is set up, even to the point that the people get to the job, until they hit start on their timer, even at this point you could still hit convert to contract job. So you don't necessarily have to bill for time and material if this becomes a bigger project. So anyhow, for now, let's say that we've made a ticket for the job, the email's gone out to the client, and now the day of comes, we get some time in, and maybe the guys call it in, crews call it in, and person in office goes to the time tracker app where they're going to enter some time for this specific job. So first Aaron calls in his hours, and go ahead and put that in. Okay. And then solar installer. Go ahead and put that in. All right, then I'll save and submit that information. So this is assuming, obviously, they've called in hours to us. We can also have them enter this time via their phone from the job site. But then once we get that time, whether it's entry at the office or entry in the field, we want to come to review time. Here we have the available time, and I'm going to go ahead and select it. Now we can do all kinds of things in here. We can send comments back about the time, which if they have a mobile app in the field, they can receive messages about the work they've done, if there's more things to be done. If the office receives some note from the client prior to them getting there, we could add comments here. Anyway, lots of things possible there. I'll go ahead and keep these the way they are for now. You can also change the amount of time here in the edit function if it's not really the amount of time that was supposed to be there. Maybe it was 1.5 hours. You never know. So let's see here, 30. There we go. And now I've got a new total there. Then I'm going to go ahead and hit approve selected. Okay. And let's say that some of the expense was purchased for this job specifically, and basically this was something happened on the job, needed to get purchased while you were there. So maybe we go to Ace Hardware here to pick up some piping, or and the total price was $13.45. And we bought it in Ventura for 7.5% tax. Then we have the opportunity here to select the job it's associated with. So it happens to be for Parkway. And we happen to pay it with cash debit this time around. And good enough. Okay, and you can see that it's closed. Paying with cash makes it a closed item. It's up here at the top. Then I'm going to come back to my dispatch job, and I'm going to go ahead and select my my secondary job that I've created here. Oh, nope, that was this one. Okay, so at this point I am going to confirm. And then I'm going to jump into my invoicing for this client. Now at this point I can still convert to a contract job if I wanted to. Even if I have time already scheduled out for it, I could still convert it. So then I'm going to go to Invoice. And that should pull in my time as well as the information that I got from my materials. So now I have my my information here for both material and labor. I could have this all outstanding and sort of descriptions out and everything, but I can do something better by creating a group. So here I'm going to enter packaged labor. And I'll go ahead and enter some totals for my labor based on the hours worked and the hourly price. And that's looking pretty good. Then I'm going to come down to here and I'm going to create a group for my material and call this packaged material. You know, actually, before I do that, I might even want to get rid of that packaged group. And I'll add my items back in. And maybe before I go, I'm going to add a catalog item. Let's go ahead and put in maybe a PVCT slip. Here I have one and the price is already listed. This is from my catalog. And maybe I had 10 of these. Okay, so then I'm going to go ahead and create my group. Call this packaged material. And I've got my items here. And then I'll also go ahead and add my sales tax to that group for my total cost of my material. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that that's the sales tax I might enter on my my ending number here. If I've already paid sales tax for an item, I don't necessarily have to charge sales tax for it. Some people do, some people don't. Entirely up to you. For now, just for the sake of an example, I'm going to put sales tax in. And we get our total. Let's see here. Maybe I'm going to add some sales tax to this. Who knows? Then, now that I have this, I'm going to go ahead and preview my invoice. All right, and the preview is looking good. You'll notice at this point there's no description of the work involved or anything like that. That's because we have the option whether we want to put it in or not. Right now we have package labor, package material showing because we wanted that to show. If we wanted to add descriptions of later, we can actually do that a little bit later via a attached report. So I'll show you that feature. So I'm going to close this for now. I like what I saw there, so I'm going to verify and finalize the email. And I've got my billing contact information. I can change that to whomever in the organization I'd like that to be. For now, this is fine. And here I have the ability to send to QuickBooks. I'm going to go ahead and uncheck that for now, but it would normally be marked. But since we're in the process of rebuilding old invoices, no need to add those to QuickBooks since they're already in. If I wanted to send this to a client, I can send the email to a client. And here I can attach the time report to the invoice. The time report actually has the description of labor. So I'm going to finalize and prepare this email. And I'll get one more item here for the email. So because I added this second page of the descriptions of work, which we placed into our hours entry earlier, you can see that on the screen here. This is page 2 of the email that'll be sent, and it talks a little bit about the services rendered. These can be longer descriptions, they can be shorter descriptions, but they give the time and the rate that we're charging the client, the date of service. So that's that information. And my first page, of course, is my invoice that we saw in a previous setting. And then I'm going to put in I like this, the suggested email. So here we're going to click in the suggested email email address we want to send this to. And then we can obviously fill in any information that we like in the message for the client. This has been templated. It can be templated in a number of ways. So that's a very useful feature. And we can also attach any relevant documents we might feel would be good for the client to have. We can drag and drop them into the box here. So then I'm going to send this invoice. Okay, the email's been sent. And at this point, I can still see in my description, this is actually the invoice in the Knowify view, and I can look back at it and see the detail of the packaged labor as well as the packaged material. And then when I'm ready to receive a payment, I can record my payment by clicking on this button, and I will be able to enter my amounts and then ensure whether it's been recorded in QuickBooks already, or if it is to be recorded, that it then syncs with QuickBooks. I won't go all the way through that process now, but at that point the invoice would be paid. And that would conclude the full dispatch process. Well, thank you for listening, and I certainly hope this helps.